Of the City of Benton Harbor, Mayor Pro Tem Dwayne Seats, and Princella Tobias, who I will introduce her role moving forward. The first thing I'd like to discuss was at 9 a.m. today, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, Governor of the state of Michigan, we hosted a meeting with community leaders and residents where she wanted to listen and she wanted to learn what's going on actually on the ground in the city of Benton Harbor. And she got an opportunity to hear firsthand from residents, clergy, we had youth representatives, elected leaders, and the community at large, where she had an opportunity to engage with the community so she can, as stated in her executive directive, implore and deploy all resources, agencies from the state of Michigan to help resolve the water crisis in the city of Benton Harbor. Last night, the City Commission passed a resolution declaring a local emergency, city emergency, and I want to speak more in detail to the declaration of the emergency plan of action. And I'm going to read from the document here. To City Commission, department heads and employees for Mayor Marcus Muhammad, October 19, 2021. Reason: ensuring safe drinking water for residents of Benton Harbor. October 18, 2021, the City Commission voted to declare a state of emergency in the city of Benton Harbor, to notify residents that the mayor, City Commission, and staff are going to commit all resources to work to comply with the executive directive number 2021-6 of the state of Michigan. Mayor shall preside, section 3.9, the mayor shall be the presiding officer and executive head of the city and perform such other duties as are or may be imposed or authorized by laws of the state or by this charter. In times of public danger or emergency, he may, with the consent of the commission, take command of the police and such other departments and subordinates of the city as deemed necessary by the commission and maintain order and enforce laws. Consistent with the above and acting under sections 1 and 8 of Article 5 of the Michigan Constitution of 1963 and the Home Rule Act 279 of 1909, number 1, the mayor shall work with the commission, city commission, and department agencies, including but not limited to the Department of Health and Human Services, the Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy, the Department of Treasury, the Department of Technology, Management and Budget, and the Michigan State Police to expeditiously take all appropriate action to ensure residents of Benton Harbor have access to safe drinking water, working in coordination with the City Commission, in parentheses, the state, Berrien County, federal partners, local community organizations, and private sector partners. Number 2, the mayor shall work with the City Commission, State Department officials, and agencies to expeditiously take all appropriate action to ensure residents of Benton Harbor have immediate access to free bottled water for consumption through distribution sites and drop-off delivery until further notice. The mayor shall work with the City Commission, State Department officials, and agencies to expeditiously take all appropriate action to provide residents of Benton Harbor with free or low-cost lead-related services, including but not limited to health care. The mayor shall work with the City Commission, State Department officials, and agencies to expeditiously take appropriate action to leverage available state resources to support the City of Benton Harbor in the efforts to secure financial grants from the federal government, providing technical assistance to support the community needs to manage resources and infrastructure projects, and assisting the city with contracting, procurement, financing related to the accelerated water infrastructure upgrade work. Number 5, the mayor shall work with the city commission, state department officials, and agencies to expeditiously take all appropriate action in coordination with federal and local partners to encourage and assist homeowners in Benton Harbor to replace lead pipes in their homes. The mayor shall work with the city commission, state department officials, and agencies to expeditiously take all appropriate action to ensure that information about their work is communicated to residents of Benton Harbor and that residents have access to clear and up-to-date information about the harmful effects of lead exposure, including the effects of lead in drinking water on vulnerable populations, the replacement of lead service lines, and lead data results of their community. Finally, the mayor shall work with the city commission, department officials, and agencies to expeditiously take appropriate action to coordinate with the state of Michigan, Barron County, and federal partners. Number 8, this City of Benton Harbor emergency plan is written using the language of Executive Directive number 2021-6 of the state of Michigan to be in complete compliance with the said order on behalf of the City Commission and residents of Benton Harbor. Thank you for your cooperation in executing this emergency plan. Mark Muhammad, Mayor of the City of Benton Harbor. So, you know, this gives the City of Benton Harbor another layer of action, working with the Office of the City Manager, working with clergy, working with staff, working directly with state officials. This Thursday, the City Manager and staff will travel to Lansing, where we'll be speaking before the House Oversight Committee at 10:30, where we'll be a part of that discussion as it relates to clean and safe drinking water in the City of Benton Harbor. Because, you know, if we look at the timeline, we see where it was a collaboration, coordination between the Republican legislator as well as with the executive branch to include $10 million in the state of Michigan budget, along with ongoing talks for $10 million from the ARPA funds to allocate $20 million in all to the City of Benton Harbor to replace, remove all lead service lines in 18 months with a speedy goal of 12 months. But of course, we don't know what Michigan winters will be like, so we're just factoring in everything. We will be establishing an ad hoc, immediately committee, what we would call a CRT or community response team, where we'll be meeting once a week, where we'll be engaging the community as a whole, door-to-door campaign, education campaign, where we're visiting senior citizen homes, public housing, residential homes, and covering all bases, door-to-door, to inform residents as it relates to the issues of lead and where we are at in the process of solving the issue. One thing that has come out, we've learned that the communication gap has to be closed. And it takes a whole nother approach at this point to close those gaps and moving forward. $30 million, $28 million coming into the City of Benton Harbor to remove, replace all lead service lines is a Mount Everest of a job. So it's going to take a all hands on deck, whole government approach from a local level, and that is the response to what we see on the state level. So Mayor Pro Tem Seats, last night spoke to the reason why the City Council decided to declare a state of emergency, and he will speak to that now.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor. It's very important that we all understand that the City Commission has given the mayor full power, full strength in this emergency to lead and guide this city. We have heard you, every ward commissioner, every commissioner at large, those who voted us in. We've heard the cry of the people, and the cry of the people is that this is an emergency, and we understand it's an emergency. So we do need our mayor to be here full time. We need our mayor to be here every day possible, working extended hours, meeting with those who need to be met with, connecting with those who need to be connected with. We don't need any red tape between our mayor and any government official, any person that's helping, any person that's willing to put their hands to the plow and work. So the City Commission last night voted unanimously saying that we do support our mayor. We support our mayor to lead us out of this. The mayor didn't put us in this, but we agree that this mayor will get us out of this. Anything the mayor needs from this commission, we're going to work with him tooth and nail. We hear the community. We know the problem. We're working every day. I believe everyone in this room has been working 7 days a week. Our phones have been going off 12 hours a day, some of us 24 hours a day, listening to the complaints, the response of the people, and we're just telling the people, we're not waiting 20 years, we're not waiting 10 years, we're not waiting 5 years. We're doing it as soon as possible, ASAP, all hands on deck, contractors that are needed, grant money that's needed, whatever that's needed. We are here to say this is an emergency, and we're standing behind Mayor Marcus Muhammad to get us out of this emergency, along with the commission at large that we have here today. Thank you, Honorable Mayor.
We have our city manager who has been working tirelessly, meeting with state agencies, meeting with EGLE, meeting with the EPA, and he'll continue to work and do that. But this gives him some help. And Mr. Manager, would you like to share some of the work you've done thus far?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And thank you all for your interest in what's happening in the city of Benton Harbor. And I want you all to know that this did not start yesterday. We have been working on this situation since about 2 years now that I've been here. This is not something that just happened. I want you to realize that. It's not just happening in Benton Harbor. It's happening in communities around the country. But we're going to be the model to correct it. That's our goal. And that's a goal working with the state, working with the federal government, working with our local partners, our contractors. We want to get this laid out. We're going to get this laid out, and we're going to get this laid out in the time frame that's set up. We have been working tirelessly, as the mayor said. He doesn't even know how many hours, but we've been working tirelessly together, planning, and it's a moving target. It's not something you can plan today and this is going to be it. We're going to keep making corrections as we go to make sure that this mission is done. And our staff is going to be standing behind the mayor and the commission as we work to get this work done.
Thank you, Mr. Manager. And then we'll have now Princella Tobias will be working as the chairperson for our community response team. She's going to share some of the ideas that we will be implementing moving forward as we work in resolving this water crisis. Ms. Tobias.
Thank you very much, Honorable Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Manager. I am so proud to be standing here today to help with this team solution. And that's exactly what we're going to do together. I have watched this mayor and the staff here and the commissioners work tirelessly, and now the community will come on board and take ownership. This is team solution. You know, when I think about what's happening in the city of Benton Harbor with our water and our lead in our pipes, it is not just Benton Harbor. It could be in D.C. tomorrow, in Vermont and Mississippi, and this is why we are urging Washington, D.C. to pass the infrastructure bills that they have on the table right now. Because how long have these pipes been here? We can talk about it night and day, but there needs to be action. Action just like this mayor and just like our governor has taken to aggressively face and deal with these steps. And these are very aggressive steps. My role will be reaching out to the people, to the citizens and businesses and stakeholders of this great city, Benton Harbor, Michigan. We're going to reach out to our seniors, our youth, our fraternities, our sororities, our churches, our grassroots, yes, our motorcycle clubs. Whomever loves this city will understand, and that we want them to come on board. This is where we come together in unity. And we will do that, and we will find resolution to this issue. And yes, with the governor, she's been very aggressive. The mayor has not been sleeping at night like the rest of us. I know I haven't. This is an aggressive approach, and it's going to be a solution that will be a win-win for all. And I am very, very pleased to be part of Team Solution. Thank you.
So with that being said, we will take a couple questions from the media. If you could state your media affiliation and then your name.
Mayor, David Horak with Wood TVA. We've been speaking with a lot of homeowners who are on the water system that are still paying their bills. We spoke with the people who are paying every month. They have family who live not on the water system who are being charged a fraction of what they're paid here. Can you tell me or one of you leaders why homeowners are still being charged, and what resources are there available for these homeowners to get any financial relief because of the circumstances of this water emergency?
Thank you for that question. So due to the revolving loan that the city of Benton Harbor had taken out in 2009, some of it was forgiven under the American Recovery Act under the Obama administration, but there's still current payments on the record that has to be paid. So in order not to default, we have to continue in that process. However, to your point, I spoke directly with the governor today about water credits, which will have to come from the state end, where a portion in Flint, they did 60%, 40%, where residents continue to pay for sewer use. But as far as water use for drinking and other usage, that's where the credit came. So I should be hearing something in light speed on that question. However, on a local level, that's not something that we can execute. We have to work with the state in so doing. Yes, sir.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. Hank Winchester from WDAB in Detroit. I know the governor was here today, but I also know that this is a problem that the people in this community have been dealing with for 2 to 3 years. Are you disappointed that more wasn't done at the executive level in the state to address this issue a few years ago, rather than everybody getting that board recently?
So in that meeting, Pastor McCoy, who was here, was a city commissioner, and this was 20 years ago, where the city of Benton Harbor applied for a loan or bond to fix the infrastructure and pipes under Engler, and the city was denied. So he thanked Governor Whitmer for her aggressive action. And this has never been done before, where this type of money has been allocated to a local community to fix. Of course, Flint was batting first. Benton Harbor is batting second. So, 3 years, I mean, if you look at the record, we tested, we received 200 or so thousand in 2018, started replacing lead lines in 2019. COVID hit. Then we received $5.6 million in June of 2021 from the EPA. So, you know, we've notified, we've gotten the word out, we've given out water. We've had a press conference right here with Barron County Health Department on the issue. But at the end of the day, you know, my Bible says that money solveth all things. So we identified the problem, but this is a $30 million job, and the money was not there 3 years ago.
But the reality is the governor is putting a lot of money towards this problem right now,
Right.
this year. This is a problem that's gone on for a couple of years. So why weren't you getting the support from the governor then?
So as I mentioned, we received $5.6 million from the EPA. The $10 million that we're receiving now from the governor was a deal that was struck between the state legislator and her to allocate $10 million. So it's not just, you know, the governor. It takes a collective and a collaborative bipartisan effort to get money to Benton Harbor. So we can't just use the Louisville Slugger to hit the governor and say, why didn't she? She can't act alone. This is a democracy. And when we have gridlock politics, you know, in 2020, we had people showing up at the Capitol with guns, right? So we had all that political theater going on while Benton Harbor is dealing with this lead issue. So this is really a complex issue, but I'm just happy today to stand here and say we do have money, we are moving forward. You know, I can play the blame game, but nobody wins. I'm here, as Ms. Tobias said, team solutions. Yes, sir.
DJ from WSBT. For the general public in Benton Harbor, when they hear state of emergency, can you elaborate a little about what this will allow you in the city to do to either help them, or can you get more relief from the state by declaring the state of emergency?
So there are measures that can be taken. If the governor were to declare, then federal and other resources can come in. We have a multitude of resources and help from agencies at this time, so I'm happy. But what we wanted to do on a local level, and Commissioner Singleton could not be here at this time, was sound a louder alarm. Commissioner Edwards is here as well, Commissioner Henderson, to say to the public, this is a crisis. I came out as an individual and said it's a 911, but we speak as a body. And this body spoke last night on the record that this is an emergency, and we're going to increase and double down on our efforts to solve the issue. Anything, Mayor Pro Tem?
I do believe that the emergency gives us the opportunity to let the state and everybody else know, and the partners, to come. Let's do this together. It's even to alert even our constituents who haven't said anything, our state rep, our senators, that we need everybody's help on a federal level or state level. And we're empowering the mayor again to do whatever is necessary, whatever is possible, whether that is providing relief, whether that is getting relief. We're going to do whatever is possible as this commission, because a lot of our commissioners do work. So we're letting the city residents know we're empowering the mayor to move forward, whatever means necessary to get the lead out. We're moving forward. We can't drive a car looking through the rearview mirror. We inherited this problem. This problem was here before us, before some of us were even born. So we're saying today, last night, we're saying that this emergency is now, and we're going into the emergency room, and we're going to allow the doctor to operate as soon as possible.
Last question.
Well, we see that the schools are now starting to give students bottled water. I know that they recently got some filters. Is that just also out of an abundance of caution? What can you say about that?
So if you go back to 2018, at that time, Dr. Herrera was a superintendent. And when we first found 8 homes of 30 exceeded the 15 parts per billion, we immediately, and our local partner in the Herald Palladium, published that article, that we were working with the school district. We put the notice out. We delivered and gave water, and he tested the schools, and they found where I think it was a few fixtures that had been out of use for years. But he said after changing those fixtures, because the water itself was not contaminated, it was the fixtures that were contaminating it, and after changing them, the water would be safe. And the Boys and Girls Club tested as well. Thank you.